Also kind of what I do and what it looks like for me each day. So whenever you set everything up, you download the app, it asks you questions, you answer, putting in your weight, age, things like that. Don't lie about it, because it can really help you. And if you lie about it, then there's no point in even doing it at that point. So put what it actually is, whatever your weight is, age, all that kind of stuff, right? And then from there, this is the home screen. So you'll find, different things, different articles that you can go through. Basically, just what people blog about from day to day, and it's updated constantly. So you can find a lot of stuff on there. On the top, you'll see my calorie goal. So the top left, you'll see 2,500. You'll then also see my food intake for the day. So far, I've just gotten past lunch, so it's not that much. I should be eating more, but it kind of subtracts both those calories, and then it also adds exercise calories. So I have it just set up to my phone, and I don't really have a smartwatch right now, so I don't have it set up to that. So whatever I do stepwise on my phone, that's what it calculates, and it adds that to my total, which is, you'll see remaining, my 1,700 calories remaining for the day. 1,700, it's also with the exercise. I don't really pay attention too much to that, just because I just try and get as close as I can to 2,500 each day. Probably be more around 2,400 or 2,300, but that's okay. If you go to your diary settings, you'll see kind of what I've eaten today. So, I've had a protein bar, banana, a few eggs, a cookie, ground turkey meat, and then some cottage cheese and coffee. It's supposed to be chike coffee, not choke. I don't know why it says that, but whatever. And so that's kind of what I've eaten for lunch. This is definitely what I've eaten for breakfast. And then I'll add in, if I do snacks or anything like that, I'll add in snacks and dinner at the end. And it'll just keep adding on from there. So if we were to click on a item, it will give you a breakdown of what it is, how much fat it has, how much protein, how many carbs. You can also change, if it's one container or just one egg. I have 3. You can change how much, all the way to doing 1/8. All right. And then also you'll kind of see saturated fats, poly, mono, trans, sodium, potassium, things like that, fiber, protein, sugars, all these different things. You can add to it as well if you want to see a little bit more. You can do a lot with this. So that's one thing that you'll see whenever you do it. Same thing. So if I were to go to here, and then on the package, you'll be able to see how much one serving size is, but you'll see different things from that point. All right. Then if you want to add food, you can go to food. You can add breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. So let's say I've had something else for lunch. I didn't really have anything else, but let's just say I did. You can do multi-add, so you can add multiple items at once, or you can just do one item at a time. You can also, if you need to, scan the barcode. That helps a lot with trying to add food. So if I were to click on scan the barcode, you would just put the barcode in that little square, and then it'll scan it. Sometimes it doesn't find it, so you have to manually put it in. But once you have it in, it's already here. So everything that I've pretty much logged throughout this entire time that I've used it, which is like almost 100 days, I eat most of the same thing each day, so that's why there's not a whole lot of variety in here. But you can go to recent or most frequent, or if you add something. So I had to manually add fish from Sam's. You can go to that and add in what it is content wise. And then it also saves meals. So if you do, normally your breakfast is the same thing every day, you can have it saved right there and just keep doing that. It saves a lot of time. You can also do recipes. So that saves a lot of time. You can also search for food. So if you were to search eggs, let's go to search, you'll find all these different kinds. You can also search for brands. All right. So top of my head, I can't really think of anything, but if you had a brand in mind, you can search for brands or restaurants. So Santorini, we normally eat there all the time, and some of the stuff is in here, some of it's not. So you're not going to find everything every single time, but you do find a lot. All right. And you can also add it manually. So you'll be able to find a lot of stuff in here from different places, and also food types. All right. Click out of that, get off lunch. So that's kind of just an overview of this part. if I were to go to my nutrition, so from here, basically what I try to do each day is get those lines to line up as much as possible. So if I were to go to macros, you'll see that this is my goal on the percentage for each macro that I want to try and hit each day. So obviously I need to get a little bit more carbs in, a little bit less fat, and then protein's fine. And then you could also have a breakdown back to nutrients. So you can have a breakdown on your goal right there, total that you've had so far, then how much you have left. All right, you can see where it comes from. So where most of it comes from is breakfast and lunch. Once I add dinner, it will show me a pie chart on that as well. And then you have all of these different things right here. So whenever you add something, it adds to this. Basically, what you want to try and do is keep the sugar down as much as possible. Fiber, you want to try and get to that 38 or so, or whatever goal is yours is at. And then also protein, carbs, and fats. Where percentage you put yours at, you want to try and hit those numbers and be consistent with it. Same thing calorie wise, you'll kind of see where your calories are coming from. Most of them are coming from. So that's kind of just a brief overview of this part. Your nutrition or nutrients, basically. You can add in progress. So if you've weighed something in the beginning, you can also add in 1 month later of another weight, and it will kind of show your progress from there. I just haven't added it, and I pretty much stayed the same anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. If you go to more, you have a bunch of things that you can do. So settings, you can go to your profile, you can change different things on here. All right, there's a lot of stuff that you can change from that point. Sharing settings, so if you want to share it with others, you can make it public or friends only. Then you can also do different things as far as customize meal names and dashboard. All right, you can also add in exercises. I don't really do it, but you can if you want to. And then weekly goal setting or nutrition settings. So you can make it start on a certain day, or you can make it go 7 days ago. Totally up to you on that part. And then from there, you can add friends, you can have a community, blog, all that kind of stuff. You can have challenges and then goals. So this is where I put my starting weight. I'm pretty much 170, and then I put maintain weight, and then I've also have very active. I've gotten less active, so I probably need to change that, but you could also change the goals here. So you can put in your own calorie count. You can put in what percentage of each one based off your calorie count. It'll then total up what you need to have for the day, or get an estimate on what you need to have for the day. All right, so just depending on what you do from there. So if I were to click on it, that's where you can change different things. You just want to make it equal to 100%. And then same thing on calories, you can just manually type it in. So I've manually typed in 2,500. All right, it works for me, and I like it because it's just something that I've done well at so far. All right, as far as anything else, steps, you can add devices on there. Like I said, I've only used the iPhone for my steps right now because I don't have a smartwatch, so I can't really add that. You can add different devices and apps. All right, there's a ton of things you can add to it. If you do Fitbit, Garmin, all that kind of stuff, the health app, all these different things you can add to. All right, so there's a bunch of opportunity for that as well. You can set reminders on when you need to do things, log things. All right, back to the homepage. That's pretty much the overview of it. You can add in your exercise from here. If you just type in or click on that little icon, you can add in your water intake, weight, and status. All right, let me see if there's anything I'm missing on here. That looks to be about it. You can put notes, how you're feeling each day, that kind of stuff. So I would highly suggest using this and taking advantage of all the things that you can do for free. There's a premium option that if you want to go premium, you can go premium, and it'll give you a lot more stuff. You can try it for free, and then you can also see, there's so much you can do with the premium part. So that's something that if you feel like you probably need a little bit more, you can take advantage of that as well. All right. I don't need it, but there's people that do a little bit better with more to see. All right. I think that's pretty much it for this. So for this video, basically just kind of giving you an overview of MyFitnessPal, what you can do with it, and where some of the things are. So You know, there's a lot of stuff on the more part where you can do a bunch of different options, so you just kind of have to play around with it and see what you can do. All right, so hopefully this helped, and that's it.